The human heart is associated with love and is mentioned many times in the Bible. Mary treasured these things in her heart, and a sword will pass through your own soul so that the thoughts of many hearts may be revealed. Why is the heart sacred? Let's rock. Are you walking through a storm that feels like it will never end? Do you wonder if life's storms have stolen the beauty from your life for good? You're in the right place. My name is Heather, and like you, I've been through a storm or two and wondered if life would ever be beautiful again. Here we share warriors' words, stories of discovering beauty after battles, and the worth in your wounds. Pick up your sword or boxing gloves and join the battle. Your words are powerful, my friends. Make them warrior words. In this last episode, airing during the month of love, I wanted to focus on the most perfect love there is. The previous episodes focused on human love and the beauty that comes from the love of one human for another. But human love, sadly, fails. Not always, but it can. We sometimes hurt the people we love, even if we do not intend to. Our human love is not perfect, and sometimes love of self wins out over love of others. There is one perfect love, the love of Jesus. He loves you regardless of your appearance, income, political affiliation, health status, education level, or any other tag we apply to ourselves or others. At the Last Supper, St. John, known as the Evangelist, was blessed with the opportunity to rest his head on the chest of Jesus. This may seem like a trivial detail, and you may wonder why he included it in his gospel. Or maybe you just skim over it as unnecessary. But if you look at history, and total transparency here, I had to discover this myself because I wasn't aware of it. But this event, this seemingly trivial detail, happens at least 2 other recorded times after Jesus' death and resurrection. In the 12th century, St. Gertrude experienced the feeling of the resurrected Jesus' beating heart and wondered about that detail in John's gospel. She also wondered why he never wrote about Jesus' heartbeat. And then she writes that John appeared to her and answered that very wondering of hers, stating that he had a different mission. And this is a quote from St. Gertrude recollecting what St. John said to her. "My mission was to write of the eternal word, but the language of the blissful pulsations of the Sacred Heart is reserved for later times. That the time-worn world, grown cold in the love of God, may be warmed up by hearing of such mysteries." End quote. This vision, in which St. Gertrude experienced Jesus' beating heart, occurred on the feast day of St. John the Evangelist. She would later go on to write several prayers, including this beautiful request: "Enkindle in my heart the fire of that ardent love, with which thine own is all inflamed." That later time John mentioned in his vision to St. Gertrude came in 1673 when Jesus appeared to St. Margaret Mary Alacoque. This appearance also occurred on the feast day of St. John the Evangelist. God is so good in these details. It's so It's just so amazing to me. So perhaps that original detail in John's gospel, though it wasn't his mission to elaborate on it at the time, isn't so trivial after all. It was there by design, as is everything divinely inspired in the Bible. So when Jesus appeared to St. Margaret Mary, he shows her his sacred heart. It is indeed a time when human hearts had grown colder and people's faith and devotion had become lukewarm. I listened to a video on Catholic Answers where Father Hugh Barber explains that it wasn't that Jesus was coming to shame and reprimand the world, but that he was asking St. Margaret Mary and the world to love him back. So that is just beautiful. It's a beautiful explanation of why Jesus appeared and showed her his sacred heart. And I'm sure most of us are familiar with that image. So if you're not, please go look it up. It's a beautiful, beautiful image. So he, meaning Jesus, so loved us humans that he willingly carried a cross through the streets, enduring mockery and pain. He so loved us humans that he allowed himself to be nailed to a tree. He so loved us humans that when the soldier pierced his side, and thus his heart, he allowed his blood and water to flow out for us. This is that perfect love. The sacred heart of Jesus loves you without reservation and is showing you his heart that you may be transformed by his love. That's the beauty in suffering. He suffered out of his love for you. His blood and water poured out of him as his love continues to pour out for you. Look at his sacred heart. Hear him asking, not demanding, asking you to love him back. Feel the transforming beats of his heart. See the beauty in his sacrifice and suffering. What can you do with this love and this beauty? My homework challenge for you this week is to share a way that you can love Jesus back. And that's it for now. Remember, armor up, fight the good fight, seek beauty,